Good evening. This is Ubuntu channel, and this time is a time that we give you a program called My Point of View. And this program is for you and I to get to react to stories and headlines of the week in terms of news. And to help me do this, I have a lady and two gentlemen right here. And those of you that would like to also join in and add your voices or reactions to the stories and headlines that we do have this week, you are very much welcome to actually click on the link that we are going to share in the comment section. Then you can choose to either join us on set, live on set, or you can simply get to drop us a message in the comment section. And the two gentlemen and lady, they are actually here. CJ, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening, Himba. Wom Kedebai. Good evening, viewers.
Good evening, CJ.
Beautiful. Good evening, Mr. Mukelebai, and good evening, Himba. Welcome to the program too.
Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, viewers.
Beautiful.
Good
Just
evening.
before we actually came live, a certain lady, was reminding me that tomorrow is Mother's Day. And these things, they really confuse me. Mother's Day, Women's Day, and rarely Father's Day, So I'll invite him to actually guide us so that we can wish them, Mother's Day. If truly tomorrow is Mother's Day indeed. Himba, when is Mother's Day?
Are you doubting that it's truly tomorrow?
I doubt mothers most of the time because for any occasion, they want a present or a gift there too.
Okay, Chaza, I'm going to guide you. What you do specifically, this message is specifically for you in Wom Kedebai. You haven't take the children to appreciate their mother. Go and pass and ram my present tomorrow, just to appreciate who she's been to you, that woman whom you live with. Do breakfast in bed for her, and go and visit mom. Appreciate mom. This is just the day you get to appreciate your mother.
Okay.
Yes, I know you appreciate her every day, but we just need you need to celebrate and you just need to appreciate her, that kind of thing on this particular day. So as you are doubting, anyway, me, I'm going to wish my fellow women, because if at all, so it will be Mother's Day. So me, I know that it is Mother's Day, Mother's Day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day. CJ, namumvela ko madam. Mother's Day, my chitako magic.
All right, thank you so much, Himba. We do certainly wish you a happy forthcoming Mother's Day tomorrow. And thank you so much for actually reminding us, because sometimes you forget about these things, and it is these things that would show that we care about our women. When is Father's Day?
You should tell us. See, me, I've told you about your workers.
You have seen my problem. That's my major problem. These women, issues are so dominantly recognized compared to men's issues. But anyway, we shall not be crybabies.
But your men's fellowship is highly recognized.
All right, let's get started. Let's get to the first story. So we are going to give you 3 consecutive stories that are interconnected. One is, the substantive one, and 2 reactions to that one. Then we get to also react to that, main story, even react to the reactions. Let's move on.
Planting information and stories. Planting information and stories so that we start fighting amongst ourselves. So that Bawele Repo, Mutumpa, Takulita Bwerapo. At the Lola Airport, there, 2 or so days before election, somebody stood there and said, I'm handing over power to myself. Malabai, I'm handing over power to myself. And when I come back, I will lock up that chap, and this time he will die in prison. Now me, I'm seated here. You think you can come back and lock me up and kill me? Their belief is that they can divide us over Black Mountain. No, we will not be divided over the Black Mountain. They can divide us over CDF. No, they will not divide us over CDF. They will divide us over our youth. No, they will not divide us. They will not divide us over cabinet ministers. If a minister has not answered your call this year, whomever.
Citizens, first we call for sobriety amongst leaders. We would want to see leaders focusing more on national development as opposed to finger pointing and demeaning each other in public. And that's our take.
We realize that, as a Republican president, he was not supposed to come out strongly the way he came out, attacking, our former Republican president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa. I want to say that we are not in support of what we are seeing Mr. Chagwa Lungu, coming on the political scene, giving some, political sentiments, which is not right, because he is a former Republican president who deserves to be respected, and he should be seated comfortably home, whereby he is receiving the rewards of his hard work in the previous regime.
Look up to them too. I was hoping. Look up to them too. Look up to them too. I was hoping that you are not going to ask that question. Look up to them too. I was hoping that you are not going to ask that question. Okay. I was sincerely hoping that you are not going to ask that question. Because what happened 2-3 days ago on the Copper Belt, the words, the vulgar language uttered by HH against his predecessor, in my view, lowers the levels of maturity of that office. HH has lowered the level of maturity of that office. He's coming across as a petty man. He's coming across as a man who is confused, who doesn't know which direction he wants to go to. He's coming across as a vengeful person. He's coming across as somebody who wants to be idolized. And if you read the text, or you listen to him, for the first time, he didn't use the pronoun we. For the first time, you're saying I. I'll make sure that he doesn't come back to power. Who is he? Who is he to make that decision? Who is he to make that decision? Isn't that what people were saying about him? Weren't they saying, in PF, HH will never rule this country. We will make sure that he doesn't. But he became president. Didn't he learn a lesson from that? Didn't he learn a lesson from that? Is that seat an inheritance from his father? Did he inherit it from his father in Wengo? I thought that is a public seat. Now, I can tell you myself that ECL has no intention of coming back to lead this country. Okay? But he has every right to live in this country and enjoy all the rights of any other citizen.
There we are. We had that, main story and two reactions to that. I would say three reactions, three people reacting to that story. And I may not repeat some of the words that were used in some of the reactions. Let's get to react, to these issues we are from looking at. I can see him, but you are ready to be the first one to do so. Please come in.
Thank you so much, Chaza. And, vintu vinangu vimadabwisana. The problem we have, the political arena, we have wrong people in the political arena. That's what I would say. Firstly, the former president of Zambia. This has bothered me even the time he was in power. Which church does he belong to? That's one thing I want to know. Because, yes, even when he was a president of Zambia, he can go to other churches. But by now, we should have known which is his mother church. Tualishibe Church, where FTJ used to go. I was still young, but I remember he used to go up Trinity Church Road. That was Bachiluba's church. Vasata, he was Catholic. His own predecessor, we know which church he used to go to. Ingaba, former president, which church does he go to? Which is his mother church? Because right now, I strongly feel he retired. He's no longer active in politics. Why can't he concentrate to go church? Because these churches, we've got doctrines. You know what I mean? We don't just go to Afyo Mukshana. In each and every church or denomination, there are reasons why we go to it. It's because we believe in their doctrines. So you can't tell me that today he's here, tomorrow he's there, tomorrow. So if he's not going there to campaign, why doesn't he stick to his mother church where he believes in the doctrines of that church? It's just sending a wrong message. And if he loves Zambia as a country and he wants to promote peace, he knows that this is a very sensitive issue. Why is he going church to church? Okay, even when he visits other churches, when they give him the platform to speak, why doesn't he just speak about peace or maybe advising the nation?
Himba, maybe I think you are probably seemingly jumping the gun. I want to spare, those reactions concerning jumping from one church to the other, because we do have, one piece specifically on that issue forthcoming.
Okay, I leave it. Yes. Now I'll go to Winter Kabimba. Winter Kabimba. Today, he's coming out very strong like that. Let me say the words which the president said, which has made him to react like that. I mean, the president spoke those words. I'm not going to say they were wrong or they were right. I mean, in the contents, he has said it. I've heard a lot of people use those words. It has never been treated like as it is becoming like an insult now. But for me, if somebody is telling me, Kutumpoko is just telling me, don't be silly, or that's being silly, which for me, it's not an insult. Anyway, I don't know. It depends who receives that message and the way they take it. Anyway, I'm not going to detect how everyone will react. But personally, that is being silly. And I'm just being advised, stop being silly anyway. Now, looking at the way Batataba Winter Kabimba has reacted, somehow, in a chankali pakopa no personal as Himba, because when people were being gassed, he's a very influential member of society, a very strong politician, somebody whom I've always wanted to listen to when he's analyzing. When people were gassed, why was he quiet? When people were being killed, why was he quiet? When people were advocating Christians for so, why didn't he rebuke that? When somebody was even saying, I'm going to make sure that he dies in the cell, why didn't he react? So, which means his reaction by now would have made a lot of sense now. So it doesn't really come out genuinely and honestly. On this side, you were quiet. This side, you react. So is he looking at the Zambian interest or he's looking on an individual's interest? So literally, for me, the reactions which are coming in, for me, Actually, I would have loved Honorable Winter Kavimba come out so strong, because he's been a very strong politician the way I know him. When people were aghast, he never said anything. When people were being insulted, were being killed, he never said anything. So the killing of Nsama is less than Ukulanda at Mwatumba. The killing of our UNZA student is nothing than Ukulanda at Mwatumba. Okay, Charles, I rest my case.
All right, Himba, thank you so much. We do appreciate that. Let me invite CJ. CJ, what's your reaction to these, concurrent stories we are from viewing?
Thank you very much, Chaza. Well, for me, I would say I'm taken a bit, I would say, aback by some of the appearances of the former president, our father, Edgar Lungu, because at this stage he's supposed to be one person that all the political leaders, political party presidents and leaders look up to as a unifying factor. Okay, he had his work, he did his work. It is not very clear. We are all assuming if he still wants to come back into active politics, which if he wants to come back, I think it would be good if it can be made clear so that he can be taken as such, okay, and people can respond to him accordingly, okay, than the way it is where people are in a limbo. Okay, whether the constitution allows it or not, those would be other issues, but if he has got intentions, it would be good for him just to make them plain. They're moving from one church to another. It's not so much of a good move because it always brings about mixed feelings. And even these churches where each time they see a politician, they give them the podium to speak, and the church is now taken on a political ride and that kind of a thing. I think the churches need to wisen up, because the church is supposed to be a neutral zone. It's not supposed to be a political.
Allow me to also ask you to hold that opinion on the jumping from one church to the other. Just that aspect. We'll look at it later on the program.
Okay.
We have a piece specifically for that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel it's not a good move. Coming to what the president said, that is President Hakainde. Anyway, I did not. I'm not privy to the whole conversation, how it started, but that was a party a party rally or a party meeting. Okay, and from the part where I was following that conversation, he mentioned about the fights that happened there on Youth Day, where the youths had some form of confrontation. And from there, that's where I picked up when the Kutumpa started coming in. Okay, and I would. For me, I would like to know what really caused, what triggered that. Okay, because I would assume partly even the violence could have also triggered, because he was saying, we went through a lot and we've been creating a platform for peace, but then we see this now we're having a youth day, and then some people want to start fighting. Okay, and then he says Kutumpoko. Okay, and then he goes on and brings in a number of other things. Locally, if a person achita vintu vamene safunka kuchita, okay, usually that's what we say. Okay, stop you stop being silly, stop being okay, stupid can be more of a deeper word, but that's what you're going to tell a person. Not that I'm justifying, but we need to look at the triggers. Then on the other hand, again, I saw okay, whether that was a direct reaction from the address of the former president that happened in the morning, I don't know, but I would like to I would like to assume that the two incidents are separate incidents. Though I've seen over the past few days, social media has really been linking them where one clip is played after the other, and it is more like a reaction directly to the other. On that one, I would like to be guided. But I would like us to be very careful, even how some of these issues are addressed, because you find instead of us talking about what was said for the youth, what will benefit the youth, what Youth Day was about, everything is just overcrowded with the kutumpa and that kind of a thing. So I would like it where real issues are the ones that are being pushed, unlike just these things that are not really beneficial per se. I'll end there for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, CJ. And as you rest your case, I would ask you a question. Is it not these small things that matter a lot and can affect us if we are not careful and watch the way we speak and so on and so forth, especially coming from the head of state? Food for thought. Let's switch to Mr. Mkelebai. Your reactions, sir.
Good evening. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for your contribution, CJ. That was very good. You analyzed it very well. And thank you, Himba, also, for having just said the truth. I know that many people think because we are in support of the current government, and therefore we shall never condemn if we see something terrible that is happening. We'll always support the wrong. No, that's wrong. The president, for him to have issued those remarks that today being the talk of the day, like I always say that if we're Zambian, we love to thrive on drama, even issues that are not going to help us anyway. That's where we want to concentrate on and start making issues out of nothing. That statement, the president, you look at the president, the reason why he made that comment, it's because of he was narrating certain issues that took place, not that he was reacting on innuendos or lies. No, he was reacting to incidents where there has been the opposition today has been talking a lot about the coming back of the former president from retirement into active politics. His political party, PF, still recognize him as the president. As you know, they are already in court over those issues, but we don't want to go there. But there has been this, and each time Lungu is out and wants to speak to his supporters or his sympathizers, instead of talking about developmental issues or rather things that will build Zambia, what does he do? He goes and mock the current government. And a clear cut showing that this man is behind all these this negative energy that is being given towards the current government, because today there's no opposition party or opposition leader that is sober, that is going to speak for the government when the government does something positive. They will never do that. To them, it's bombarding the government for even the things that they know they did themselves or they did otherwise. they are still criticizing the government over small little things. And we can see that the social media today has been bombarded by propaganda and a lot of fake news, and people are beginning to believe those lies, and that makes the current government having difficulties in governing their own people. So that is why you find that now the government, they have to retaliate, and the principal, the commander-in-chief, he is aware with what is going on, and he has to come in and retaliate. And when he does that, look at the way they are busy running around and crying the loudest, as though they are the most, as though HH insulted them, and now they are making it a huge issue. Mairomo Komfo, they will go to the International Monetary, whatever, to say he even insults. So we know that this is just it's just drama. They are dramatizing issue where there's no. You can tell from the reaction of Bene Kawimbe. Where's this winter? You know, that man is a finished product. He's not. Even if he stand alone tomorrow, nobody's going to vote for him, because we know how he has how he has killed his career. He's an intelligent man, but look at how he has brought himself down within the same party that actually killed his career. Today he wants to be there and promote, or rather support them. So to me, that's just hypocritical, and they have nothing to say. We should look at, like my brother put it here, to say, let's look at the issue that was brought out during that meeting. The developmental issues, the promises that he made towards his supporters. Those are issues that we should dwell on and look at the current high cost of living. How did we end up to this situation? So in a nutshell, I would simply say that these guys, the opposition, have nothing to talk about, because we have real big issues. Ukutumpa is not an insult. Ukutumpa is, and I'm glad that the president even managed to remove or repeal that law of defamation of a president. So now they can, even if they want, they can also call him Ukutumpa. I don't think HH will be broken down and his neck will be broken or be limping because he has been called Ukutumpa. No. So the issue is Ukutumpa, we know. We are not members, but we know what it means. It is true. Bolungu, when he was busy talking or intending to come and kill HH, or intending to come and lock HH up, when he had no power to do that, you know, people showed him the way. Who is he today to come back and start precipitating violence or making the country be ungovernable? So Mr. HH was in the right set of mind to even call him Ukutumpa. Me, I would have just called Volungu to be stupid, to say he should get back to his position and retire, instead of busy coming out and opening up his filthy mouth when he knows that he is the causer of the current situation that we are in today. This government has been in office for only 16 to 17 months. In office, lay low. We have a number one pointing a finger at HH and his new dawn at Evaleto Uwafia Zambia. Who are you? You are the people who are being Ukutumpa, not this president who just came in. We are ready to rate HH. Come 2026, that's when we will rate him and see how he has performed. Not to move to 16 months more first. He has failed. Who is Ukutumpa? Who is tumping now? It's them. So you cannot judge somebody before he has even finished his tenure of office. So HH is in the right set of mind to even tell whoever is trying to demean or demonize him over the sacrifice that these guys are doing just to bring Zambia into a very well governable country. We should feel ashamed when we are the people that destroyed our country. So as we come out, let us just be honest to say to Aliona Ule Chalo, in 10 years, Uyumu guys Alesha, 16 months more face, atupera free education, atupera ama CDF, just 16 months. Imagine what he's going to do in 5 years or 10 years. So who are we to start pointing a finger at this man? Lelo we call him corrupt. Seriously, are we serious? Kutumpoko. Apush.
Mr. Mkelewai, thank you so much. And presently, it is so dominant a word or a phrase. Kutumpa, is it a word or a phrase? Are they two words or is a phrase? I really don't know. But it is actually trending. It's all over, it's everywhere. And whatever you say or do, you'll be told. Kutumpa.
It doesn't matter, my brother. When somebody is on a negative side and is doing something that is not making any sense, you know, mchilozi tulanda kibwanganu ho, kibwanganu, kibukuba. Go sit down and
actually before we comment on these reactions, we should be very careful. If I listen to the president's statement, he said kutumpoko. He didn't say walitumpa. I'm not justifying. There's a difference there where you say you are stupid, and that's being stupid. Don't be stupid. So literally, how does the president say that is being silly? And then you say ale baini, because there was no name mentioned, and there were a lot of issues that CJ said which were attached to that statement. So how did we just get this and attach it to this? Fault finding a tapaka so would do this because he just said kutumpoko. That's being silly.
Even if it was directed to him, alitumpa, because alitubika my problem. I will simply say alitumpa. Kutumpoko. By opposition, let them concentrate on developmental issues. Not ukuleto kutumpa. Not ukuleto bufi. Not propaganda. Alulat.
I think we can proceed now.
Okay, thank you, CJ. And deliberately, I was letting him, vent out. Remember that this program is designed for you to react to the stories that we do have. So even Wamkelewai has a right to react in any way that he feels, because that is his opinion after all. And thank you so much for those reactions. For those of you that are listening or viewing and you'd like to react to these stories, you can definitely get to do that by dropping us a comment right in the comment section. And those of you that would like to react to these stories that we do have, you can join us live on set right here by clicking on the StreamYard link that we have shared. Let's now proceed to have the next two stories that are interlinked, and we get to react on the other side. Remember, this is my point of view, an opinion, and a reaction that is solely based on a personal, conviction. Let's proceed.
But once I got to politics somewhere. So we never and when I say I lost power, yes, we lost power in PF, but we didn't lose God. We didn't lose the love of Christ. We'll keep coming to churches, we'll keep congregating with our friends, and those of you who feel sick about it, please, I hope you will find care.
These politicians. But where he wants to say, no, we will go to every church and we will meet everyone. And, it doesn't work out like that. I mean, he never used to go to church when he was head of state. We know it. And he never used to condemn some of these things. Today he's condemning. So he should actually do the same. and not go to church and go just to one particular church where his faith is. For me, Grace Nyirenda, I am Catholic. I will not go today, I am in Pentecostal holiness. Tomorrow I'm in SDA. The other day, no, I should stick to my faith because the Catholic promote a certain faith. And I should stick to that faith and not just masquerade around and think that the others will be at peace. No. If he's going to earn himself a statesmanship status, he must just do what is right. Don't cross the red line. If you do cross the red line, you are a politician and people will take you as such and they will bruise you. The political arena bruises. He bruised others himself when he was a politician. And some of the things that he used was alamona after 2021 nkamukaka. You know, himself he said nkamukaka. It means that him as a president, he would have arrested not the police, him as an individual. So if he used those words then on someone, why should he be let free now when he's also doing the wrong things?
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the part I was saying, let us spare it till that time, and the time is here. We had, ECL there in church saying, they lost elections and they never lost Christ. And they'll be all over, they'll be in all the churches and speak out, everything that they feel like doing so. And a reaction to that, at the time he was in power, he never used to, frequent churches. And the question that Himba raised, to which church does he belong? Let's get to have reactions to these two stories. And again, I'll invite you, Himba, considering that I held your thought at that time. It's that time you reacted. Himba.
Thank you so much, Chaza. I think the other comrade has spoken my mind, actually. Because honestly, if our former president is going to go from one church to another, and he's saying when he lost the election, he did not lose the power from God. True, 100%. He's actually 100% because God is for everyone anyway. He's very right. But iditupepa to alikwata ama churches to yako. We've got our mother churches where we go to. Because we believe, as I said earlier on, because we believe in the doctrines of that church. So if he goes from one church to another, he should give us an explanation. And from the Zambian background of politics, we know that politicians are the ones who goes to churches to campaign, and all the politicians, this goes to all politicians, they should stop using the churches as the campaign platforms. And even the church leaders, may you please stop giving these politicians umupata bakabwela ku machechi uti bambo makampeni ni kuenda tukazienda ku ground. May the pulpit be respected and be used for the right thing, which is to minister the word of God, not tukazibwa ma politics muchechi bantu bambototera no kuli mulungu na kuma politics difference ifunika inkala hapo. Secondly, our former president by now, he should have been angabankalako kufamu. So tifuna taona wa former president that waenda kumfuwe. Tifuna tiona kwa former president that he was fishing with his grandchildren. He has played his role. He has played his part. And he's now in the history of Zambia. Let history be history. Maybe he wants to make history that he left power and then he came back. But yote yabeko easier. So if he's coming back, let him announce publicly. But he should not come behind the pulpit. Because takwaba, he can't be saying, no, I'll be going to church. We are also believers. We are Christians and we believe in God. But we don't move from one church to another. We don't move from one church to another. And if he loves the peace in Zambia and he wants to promote peace, he knows that going from one church to another, especially a person in his status, It will bring mixed feelings among the Zambians. So why can't he avoid such as the former president who wants peace in the country? Why can't he avoid such? So in Gabale Sama politics, as the other comrade said in the other video we watched, if he wants to come into the political arena, let him come into the political arena clean so that he received the blows. I am political arena wino. If he wants to go to be respected as the former president, let him take that position. It's simple. Crossing the red line, it is just bringing mixed feelings, and he will not be allowed that he should be punching blows on others. Then it's not gonna work. So if he punches blows, people they'll punch back in their defense. So let him come out, and my politicians stop using the pulpit for your political gain, for your political arena. Na imweba na mayo na washtata machech. Mwila staff yo waisa, mletotela. You've been entertaining demons sometimes. Let's know what we are clapping for and what we are dancing for in these churches. Let the church be used for the right thing. Let the pulpit be used for the right thing. Politics, panse, muchech nikuli lesa. I rest my case.
Thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate, and I'm sure, from what you are saying, what I can take is that churches should not be bought. Because I must believe that, when somebody of, a high stature goes to church, they make fat, the church basket. But that should not actually be the passport for, any Jim and Jack to take up, the podium.
Chaza, we even saw the cake. Did you see the cake which was given to one of the political leaders?
Of course, yes. Of course.
There was a cake written the Bavika Pochan ya church. That is wrong. For me, that was wrong.
Yeah, the church should be separated from, politics. If a politician goes to church, they must go to church to pray. And they must be prayed for instead of, them taking up the leading role in church. A political leader is different from, a church leader. If you ask me, that's what I feel. Before I delve so much into my reaction, let me invite you, CJ. I can see you smiling. Please do react to these stories.
Thank you, Chaza. Yeah. When it comes to a church service, as it were in that particular incident, I think churches need to handle a service as sacred as it should be and as sacred as it is. If it's a fundraising event that they're having and there's a political leader, yes, we can say that is okay. But for a service or a mass or that kind of a thing, let it be handled accordingly. For a person of the status of the former Republican president, he doesn't move alone, and he moves with his political entourage, okay? And that just disturbs the church program altogether, okay? The attention is, I would say it's messed up, okay? If they are given an opportunity, and I'm talking about all the political leaders, if they are given an opportunity to speak when they are in a church, let them maintain what is relevant, that is, talk about Christ, talk about the gospel, and not delve into other things or things that might make people start insinuating otherwise. Church is supposed to be
and CJ, just to agree with you, and when they are given such an opportunity to speak, it must be certain in what capacity are they speaking. Are they speaking as a political leader, or are they speaking because they have faith and they are in church at this particular time?
Exactly. And there's a common saying, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Okay. So when these political leaders are in church, let them stick to the gospel and not jump out of the gospel.
Actually, CJ,
is a neutral place.
They shouldn't even, when they are in church, let them, why if a swama tipasa mipata utiti kambi na wewe vakazinkala mwetinkali that kafika ku church
Kibangala ziveka
vakadzitala naenda kupempera sanaenda campaign.
Vajavazivika, whether you like it or not. And some people might feel like it is an insult if they are not recognized.
Which means they don't mean well. Because the person who wants to go and worship vachiruva venzoenda quietly patrinity vachoka bwino bwino.
Yeah, because of the nature of their status, okay, you expect that they will be called upon, okay. But
recognizing,
in terms of recognition, that's what the churches do, and they will call a person and say, greet the people, and say a few words, okay. But now the pastors or the priests, they don't know what is in the head of that particular person they've called. But it's up to our leaders to show real leadership and stick to the gospel, because a church is a neutral place. All parties are in that church. Yes, there are sayings like the church is the biggest player in politics, but let it be held as a sacred place that it is, so that only the gospel is delivered when they are on that pulpit or that podium, instead of bringing in these other innuendos. When it comes to the particular incident involving the former president, I feel he's going to be damaging his reputation if they continue going round and round churches the way he said, because in terms of credibility, people will stop taking him seriously, because he will now be taken to be a politician and campaigning. What is the purpose of moving from one church to another? If it is prayer, if it is worshiping, they'll maintain one church, okay? Unlike going around with all that entourage and the like, in the end, even on serious matters, he will fail to carry out what a statesman is supposed to carry out, looking at his state. I think I'll end just here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CJ. We do appreciate. Let's get to listen to Mr. Mkelebai right about now.
Thank you so much, Cesar. Well said, panelist. Me, I would just, I won't go around the bush and try to sugarcoat, because this is how people that invite, that are not honest, that are dishonest even in front of you people, and coming to you with a straight face. They are lying to everyone with a straight face. They have never been remorseful for the atrocities they committed. And then today, we want to worship them. We want to claim. They claim they are holy. These are hypocrites, typical hypocrites. And these are the chaps that are taking the name of the Lord, our God, in vain. And the God that we pray, the God that we know that protects Zambia, will not hold them guiltless if they continue taking the name of the Lord in vain. Because that is what is happening. We never saw ECL going to church before he was even a president. We knew, what we knew is the church that he used to visit. We all know. I don't want to just point it like that. We all know. Beregede. Lelo, when he became president, of course, he was imposed on us. Upon being imposed on us, did we ever see him going to church? Or we saw him just attending funerals? And when things got worse, out of hand, after they saw that these guys have acquired so much wealth within the shortest period of time, and they knew that this was their game was over. They saw that people know. And the issue these guys do is that they never hide their dealings. That's why people still call this political party as the gangsters, or the group of thugs. We see them washing. This is what we call money laundering. They are busy cleaning money. They are on a trail to clean the mistakes that they made. And they want to portray this picture today to you and me because they know that they are easily convinced. Zambians are easily the moment you align yourself to Mulungu. Nishikwasira. Bonse we are today, timumverera chifundo lungu leo. Timumverera chifundo bonse PF because of chifundo ichita, we even forget and forgive. They don't even want us to talk about the wrong things that they did, the atrocities that they did. Suddenly these people are millionaires within the shortest period of time. Today, they are the number ones busy donating money. These are the chaps who've been purchasing helicopters, planes. And we are here claiming, Muleva Chusha, this is the, what you call it? This is persecution. Persecution, my foot. Let's open our eyes, Zambians. Imwema Christians, you, the churches. Stop it. You are the people that are now taking this church body into disrepute in front of the holy God that we pray for by allowing crooked people coming to you with their dirty money, come and wash their money in your churches. And you claim, no, Mulungu. Mulungu akwise, you are the people, you are the sinner. Elo mukaya pianga chachi neleso kwa baku mukaya pia because of your mulechita lesa ale mona. Do not take advantage of the Zambian people that are busy praising God for real. They praise God. They are praying day and night. That's why today we have peace and tranquility in our country. That's why today we allow thieves to walk freely, even when they have blood on their hands. Because Zambians, a poor Zambian is kneeling day and night without money. His house or their houses are submerging in water that ought to have been avoided. But because paper now, invites to come and pray with you, to cheat you, to come and insult God. Bali liempia, bali misendere mpia shonse, isha kumipangira ma drainage, so that you do not suffer. Today we are suffering. The high cost of living is expensive. It's high. Who are we pointing a finger at? The 16-month-old baby. Ewe to start to blame. Even we go later more problems. To share the real thieves. I want Zambian people to work together. Ububufi bale mibe party bala paperless. Lelo be mwishibelesa. Bali kwisa ruli alonsi. Blood, tear gases were being blown everywhere. Today, imwe Zambian mwikale no muntu wakwalesa. Ufiwo. Ask people from Chawama aba mwishiba uli omuntu shalumbule shida. Then all mala ishibati mukela ba ikanshalende chinga. Even basangwa told us uyu muntu awe ba Zambia apapena bena KBF mwali rufyanyo kuyabusha ama judges pa 03 because you put us in this mess. So Wakainde so we are now asking Wakainde to please, with your team, stop buying the drama, the propaganda. Ignore these chaps or put them behind bars so we can develop our country. We put food on the table of Zambians that are busy wanting the country to thrive. Not no. We should not allow a politician that made people to suffer, to start walking, garavanting, even shaming, shamelessly, looking in our eyes with their straight faces, lying to us at Papepalesa. We can't judge him. We are not gods, but we know Imisango, the works and ways that these chaps did. Why should we even allow them to come to our pulpits? Seriously, Christians, you are being unreasonable and you are acting ultra-viously, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Invite them to church, yes. Let them come and repent their sins, yes. not Yukubavika Pafupi, and you start praising them as though they are little Jesuses.
Allow me to
my
cut you
apologies
from here. Yeah, and the message is clear. Yes, and the message is clear. Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelewai. We do appreciate, that reaction. So what the people are actually, saying is that politicians do not, take advantage of the already organized audiences. Organize your own audiences. That's our, plea there. We have a comment from Mr. Wellens Mioba saying, these notorious PF Vatumpa Sana, we have not forgotten how they divided the country, how ECL retired other tribes in the national interest, how he arrested UPND members, including HH, and today they want to cry the loudest. Kutumpoko. HH had accurately used the word in question correctly. Nothing wrong he did. ECL is not a saint. Thank you so much for your reaction, Mr. Wellens there, Mioba. We greatly appreciate. And if you want to comment, just like Mr. Mioba has done so, you can drop us, that comment. And Jerome Mulungu, Ruben, it's good to know that you are there following the program. So we have delved into, political related stories. And one may be wondering, is it a political, show altogether? No, not at all. We are having a variety of stories, and just to prove that, this time around, let us have an economic story, which is, one of the answers as regards, to the overload that ZESCO has. Let's see what that is, and we get to react on the other side.
Of this key project. That is a potential game changer in enhancing the power generation mix of Zambia. Further, investing in the renewable energy sector for the development of a 50 megawatt solar PV plant in Serenge district will demonstrate our aspirations, which encompasses, among others, 1. Increase generation capacity and promote sustainable economic development. 2. Provide climate resilience solutions to energy demands. 3. To increase power generation and spread the hydrological risk, which is more prevalent in the southern part of the country, where we have our major hydropower plants.
That is a story about a 50 megawatt solar plant to be installed in Serenge. And this happens to be one of those, answers or solutions to the overload that, ZESCO has had in a long time. Let me invite this time around the last one to speak in the previous, story or stories to speak first. Mr. Mkelewai, please.
Thank you so much. I am not going to speak long on this issue because I know that most of these so-called opposition will not even pay attention because they would want us to dwell on their propaganda. When it comes to developmental issues, they switch channels, they go elsewhere. I don't want to comment much, but otherwise, this is a welcome. These are the issues that we've been talking about to say we need investment into a lot of challenges that we've had so far. We know we've had load shedding. So this is the most welcome. We can take advantage of the sun that we are given. It's a gift. So when we come up with such kind of project where we'll be getting free of charge, it's the sun that is there in heaven, in the sky, and utilize it to our benefit. That's the most welcome thing. We should embrace it, and we should thank the government for giving this, for this giving us this enabling environment to allow investors to come in and come up with such kind of projects. So I am not going to say much, because I know that this government that we put in found a lot of challenges, and when we hear them making efforts to mitigate those challenges and coming up with such kind of developmental projects, to us it's a plus. But I know that our counterparts, our colleagues in the opposition, they will never see anything positive out of this. To them, it's Kuriaba, because that's always what is happening with a corrupt mind. A corrupt mind will always think corruptly all the time, even when something is just in black and white. To them, because they always put themselves in the situation. You say, if it was them, they ought to have done this. You know what happened. You've heard what has happened to this Ndola dual carriageway. You've heard about all these mine issues, challenges. And some of the people who are in the government today, they are beginning to believe those propaganda and start even stealing, even when they know that there's a warning from the head of state. Uliweka and you'll be dealt with. But I don't want to go there, because they know the warning is there. But I want to just congratulate and thank this current government for having put this developmental project into reality. We know we are going to have the dividends, they are coming. We are going to be happy, my fellow Zambians. Let's just put faith in this government. Our votes did not just go in vain. They will definitely deliver something positive to our nation. Already, we are enjoying freedom, the space, no violence. So, who are we not to continue embracing and supporting the current government? So please, that to me, it's a plus. We should give this government a thumbs up when they do something positive.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelebai. We do appreciate, for that. And one of the people that are following the program through Facebook, by the name Elijah Lungu, is saying, like the Ndola Lusaka dual carriageway. So he's actually likening the developmental, issue or project that we are discussing right now, to the Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway, that the reactions, the attitudes would be the same. If they don't appreciate, one developmental, project, they may not appreciate, any other that can come forth. I take it that is what he means. CJ, your reaction?
Well, okay, thank you very much, Chaza. That is a very, very much welcome development. I would say early this year, late last year and early this year, we had the load shedding problem, and this load shedding problem seems to be something that happens every year. And such projects give us hope that such issues will really be a thing of the past. We need more of such, so that we are able to completely forget about load shedding. Not ikendofika October futi tambonkala worried that no Kariba, because we've been putting so much reliance on Kariba, and each time water levels in Kariba dwindle, we start receiving the same story. So this is a welcome move, and our prayer or our plea is that let more of such projects be put in place, so that we know that this alternative source of energy will be able to push the development of the nation. I rest there for now. Thank you.
Thank you, CJ. We do appreciate. And moving away from this developmental or economic story, let's get to look at one social story about one old lady and what she's undergoing in life. Let's check this story and get to react on the other side.
She has been crushing stones for over 15 years now. This is Eneles Njovu of Lusaka's Kabanana area, believed to be 100 years old, who crushes stones and later sells them for a living. According to her daughter Patricia Piri, Miss Njovu has no other source of income apart from stone crushing, as she is not registered under social cash transfer program put in place by the government to reduce extreme poverty and the intergenerational transfer of poverty.
Your business actually ni yoponya bei kwa siri kange aba mpamvu za siri manje zoponya minyala futi vivavuta simaoneka vimapwanya so ngamataliza kwa business yao ndingavelebu maenda ko tumaenda magarden ndale so kupiswa kitanyulia ko tundio aduzayo washira tendo washirira so chambe nasatipasa kwa banga feti ngafote so chambe.
However, representative for Kabanana Ward 27 Councillor Amos Mumba says the councillor shall ensure the woman is included on the list of beneficiaries.
If there is anyone between the age of 65 and above that are not on social cash transfer, to make sure that they see their leaders in all the areas, to make sure that they are put on social cash transfer, because these people are entitled to social cash transfer.
Helga Matanda ASCOM Foundation, which advocates and helps the vulnerable, has donated foodstuff to the woman, and the Chief Executive Officer, Helga Matanda ASCOM, has urged the general public to help out those in need within various communities.
I saw it fit to visit and donate some groceries when I learned that a woman at her age is crushing stones for a living. I was heartbroken. At her age, she's supposed to be loved, cared for, and also fed for. That's why as a foundation, we'll continue to aid the elderly in the community. I'm calling upon everyone, including leaders, to come on board.
We are calling upon well-wishers out there. It could be any person who feels the pain, who feels like, if I grow old and I see my mother in such a situation, the politicians, the government workers, the civic leaders, any well-wisher, to come and help the daughter who is also suffering from low BP. At least if she can be empowered with at least a stable business, I think she can try to help the old lady to stop crushing.
Joanny Mwete reporting for Movie TV News in Los.
There we are, an old lady, going through stone crushing as a means of fending for herself and the family, the people that are surrounding her. Let's get to invite, a fellow lady to be first to react to this one. Himba.
Thank you so much, Chaza. Firstly, I felt just so good to see a mother who is 100 years. I think I count it all joy. That is so wonderful. And it just feels nice. And she looks, despite the challenges, the social challenges she's going through, to me, she's still looking healthy and she still looks strong to me. And may God bless this woman to live more years. I'm really happy and I feel emotional about that. However, I would appeal to the social welfare. Such people in society, they should be well looked after. They are a blessing. It's a blessing to see them or to have them around us. And as such, they should be well looked after. At this point, they should just, these are the people where even the kids in the community, tenda pali bagogo, pali bambuya, tenda so, and she would be like, that kind of thing, that loving the way these elderly people when they grow old, so I would appeal to the social workers that these are the people that need to benefit. These are the people that need to be looked after. And it's so sad that she's actually still doing some hard labor. I was looking for a better word, but let me just call it the way it is. That is hard labor to earn a living. Crushing stones, that is actually beyond her age. Such things are not supposed to be done by people of her age, especially her. I think this should be, even the councillor, this should be an emergency issue, that this woman should be put on a scheme. The social cash transfer, she should be a beneficiary. And I'm so happy that actually the young lady is saying, tulayako tulamukuwasha, tulayako tuapanga kwa amafote kwacha, nga batubikirako ka business akamano. I like that. And she didn't say, kapena bangatitandizeko vokuja, tivutika na vokuja. No. She didn't say that. Which means this person has the will to move and to fetch for themselves. All they need is a stepping stone. So I appeal to our social welfare to come in and really support this family, to come in and really look after this woman and make sure. I'd love her to stay more years. She's such a blessing. And Chaza, I raised my case.
Thank you so much. And I could feel you. You are really coming out as a mother and also, coming out so emotional, so passionate about, this. We greatly appreciate that. So let's invite, CJ. I can see his face also. I'm sure he's taken also. CJ, please come through and react to this story.
Yeah, thank you, Chaza.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, Himba has I would almost say has said it all. What I'll just add is that, these are situations that are there in most of these compounds. Okay. They are very prominent and prevailing, where you find old people are engaged in activities that old people under normal circumstances are not supposed to be doing, just in order to survive. And it's a good thing that we have people that are coming out to help. And as Himba said, the social welfare department really needs to up their game. But then we also know they rely on finances provided by the government, and being in the debt situation, that might be a challenge. Yeah, but they really need to up their game. And then even we have politicians going around doing all these campaigns and whatever. I think even though usually we see when they are doing a donation, Nishina camera and that kind of a thing. Yeah. But these are really things that they really need to get to do from their heart, because there are a lot of senior citizens that are suffering in these compounds. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Say Jones of Melapo Padima politicians. It is a drama.
CJ is being categorical. Asila in a point.
Oh, okay. I raised my case.
Mr. Mukelewa, it's your time to touch what CJ has left for you.
Thank you so much, Chaza. That's why nakamba kuti aba politician batu aba. That's why tikaziba chenjelela. When we hear them or we see them to our churches coming to start pronouncing or showing ka godliness, ka boza, we should be careful. Na imwebe inama clergymen, I know you have a lot of money, and we see the type of vehicles you are driving, the type of even the way you are sending your children to go abroad and over ma tithe ya mene bakupasani, the poor people themselves, and yet you have the community. There are so many people, not just this old lady, that have been suffering for many years. She has been crushing the stones for 15 years. This did not happen just recently when UPND New Dawn came into power. This happened from Banda period time. This woman has been surviving on this crushing of stones. That was one of her source of income. But look at her age. She retired, I think, almost 15 years or 20 years ago, because you retire. What's the retirement age in Zambia? The normal retirement age? 65 or 67. I don't know what it is. I forgot. You do the math. And here's a woman that was supposed to be assisted by the government itself. Look at the manner in which our retirees are treated or were treated. We used to hear women crying, even cursing the previous government for not paying them their dues, their terminal benefits or their retirement packages, until they waited for years and years. But look at the chaps were busy doing what? Mwayamukushita fire tenders, $1 million, and you leave people suffering. Lelo, at these are Christians. Bese mumachurch at no bantu bakwalesa isen tubachite bwanyi tubapokelele, and they come with money. Now Kokuma church, they don't come for free, because they leave the same monies that they stop. Na mama clergymen, you are busy mulepokelela. Let's not be used. Let's not be used by these chaps. This is what happened. I feel sorry for this woman. Then, society is gauged on how you treat the old people and the young ones. If we do not take care of the old folks, and we do not plan for the future of the young ones, today we are sidelining the future generation. We are putting them to go through hardship. Meanwhile, we who have the opportunities, who are in the driving seat, we are coming up with the selfish policies that are depriving. We even tend to sit in our offices for a long time, longer period than the future generation that we want to develop tomorrow. Then you wonder why Zambia or Africa is still poor. We do not plan for the future. We want quick short-term plans. We don't develop, we don't plan we don't like long-term plans. Here we are. We are busy complaining about 25 years of targets being received by a private company. We are crying foul. Why? Long-term plan. We don't like to go there. We want to think about today. That's why we are able to buy Indeke, Inshi, and Ama mansions to Akura. But look at this old lady. That's the gate of Emmanuel Mwamba's property. Can feed this woman, can help her. Just the door of Calava's house, just the door for entrance, just the grill door can help this woman to be somewhere. The TV that was stolen by the thieves from Lungu could have helped this woman and made her the happiest woman in life. Priorities. We do not prioritize things. So let's be serious. I, for one, I feel so bad because I'm a Zambian. I'm not exempted from these blames. I'm busy blaming my friends because I belong to Zambia, and I'm letting this issue to happen in my under my nose. Even when we pay so much tax, And we see our brothers busy getting Bayam Kongole Mpia. They are failing to recognize and help the social people that have worked in this world. This woman, if she's 100, it means that she was there during the struggle, during the fight for independence. Has she ever been recognized? No. Why? Because to conquer education, we are forgetting our own mothers that brought us on this planet. And there are many. CJ is right. We have many people in compounds that are really in dire need of assistance from the government. So let us learn to help. Remember, church, after this program was shown, I expect the church people to be on the forefront to go and help this woman. I expect the government officials look for this woman and put her on the cash social transfer, whatever you call it. Let her be relieved from all these sufferings that she has undergone. She's one of our veterans. Whether she did not do anything during our struggle of independence, but she did something. She was there, she witnessed, she knows it all. So let us treat our old folks with respect, and especially also the future generation, our young ones, the youths, not infiltrate this selfishness of a truly a selfish African father who does not save for the future or who does not respect elderly. When we have so many idioms that tells us to respect elderly, but we don't, and we should be ashamed of ourselves as society. I too should be ashamed that we let this woman struggle, and I know she's not the only one. There are many. So having said that, I want to get information over this woman. So me and my family are willing to come in and help as well, because I feel ashamed. Maybe when I donate something towards her struggle, maybe my conscience, maybe I will be able to sleep. Not Kutumpo.
Mr. Mkelewai, thank you so much. The only part that I've liked so much about your reaction is the commitment, the willingness to actually donate, for this lady, yourself and your family. That is so progressive. And
so,
information about
Chaza, why I send them of family commitment.
This is the most important part, Mkelewai, because this woman
I'm just pulling your leg.
And I'm also being so emphatic to actually, affirm that yes, indeed, it's the most important part. Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelewai, and we look forward to seeing that.
Just make a follow-up on that aspect. That my family and I, we are willing to come in and help. I've done it before with Livingstone Old People's Home. So and my wife and I, we went and donated something to the old people's home. Not just because I want to come and sleep and because sometimes we need to appreciate our old folks, and that is of course how we get blessings.
Yes, indeed. We thank you for that, and considering that you've come right here on this platform to commit yourself, it wouldn't be bad to also turn on the cameras as that donation is taking place, so that it can testify that yes, indeed, this came to pass. Despite people talking about cameras to be away from donations or goodwill, but sometimes, like in this cause, I think cameras must be on. Sometimes it's very important. Let's proceed to the next story. Then we see you on the other side, because we've had protests here and there. People protesting, people talking about this and that, and saying the country, the president, is in support of this and that. But the next story is actually a reaction to some of these things. Let's find out what it is and the reaction, coming from the president. And we react on the other side.
we as a political party, we or parties, we as individuals, including myself, we do not support gay and lesbian marriage.
After speaking, I heard an applause, from the audience there after he actually reacted to, these stories as regards gayism and homosexuality. Then that applause, I heard Bali, so Bali has reacted. Your reaction, CJ, to this?
Yeah, thank you, Chaza. This issue about LGBT and whatever the other letters are, it keeps on doing rounds, and you keep on wondering why. And the message that we get is the same, okay? Whether from the president, I was listening I was watching Parliament TV, and the vice president was saying the same thing. Why can't all the MPs speak one language? Because we have a situation whereby there are some sectors that are saying, no, this government is supporting this, A, B, C, D. But the pronouncements have been consistent, okay? Have been consistent from the former president, Edgar Lungu. He gave the same stance that Zambia does not support such things. The current president has given the stance that it does not support such kind of activities. And this keeps on going on and on and on. Personally, I have a big problem with LGBT and whatever, okay? And I think it's about time that let me just say all the political parties and leaders stopped pointing at the other and just stood with one voice and say, as Zambians, mchalo chatu ivivaso sivichitika, okay, it is an Zambian. We are governed by Christian principles, and this is not tolerated. Though we've seen social media and occasions that seem to be, pushing this agenda here and there. And I think, yes, the government needs to take a strong stance. We need to see prosecutions, okay? It's good. We heard of what happened to the other group that got a permit to do a peaceful march, looking at gender-based violence, but the march again tend to start pushing some of these things. I don't know how far that has gone, but government needs to put more effort so that it's not just talking, but it is also seen to be acting. And the funny thing I would say again, on social media, we are seeing some of these people trending, and they have a very big following, and they are seemingly driving these the LGBTQ whatever agenda, and they seem to be aligning themselves with such activities. And I don't know, social media yatu mwene ilili vintu vene sivoneka straight ndevene vantu vasapota ndivakonda, and that kind of a thing. But again, I get worried if these are the kind of influencers that we have. Vana vatu, what kind of future are they getting into, where such things will seem to be normal and such things are being propelled? Come on. I'm a happily married man, okay? And, you know, when I just start to think of it's unimaginable, come on. I've said this before, where we've been told that a man kukwatira more than one wife, it is unacceptable. Even by law, you can even be arrested, something at bigamy or something like that. Manja watu mo mwamuna kukwatira mwamuna mzaki, or mkazi kukwatira mkazi mzaki. Come on, some of these things. Let's just stand by our values and ensure that the family and the morals that have brought us are not destroyed, and our children grow in the right way that they should go. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelevai. What's your viewpoint? What's your reaction to this, story?
Thank you so much. We have laws in Zambia that do not promote or tolerate this homosexuality. We have the laws. The laws are clear. Not even a president has the power to come and start speaking otherwise, like we saw from Michael Sata, who was saying we have to recognize their rights. They're human beings too. But what is at stake here is that our brothers in the opposition, they are trying to play this narrative where, because HH is loved by the international world today. To be honest, our president is a darling to the international world because of his ability to come in and change things, even under difficult circumstances. But our brothers, they feel by so doing, because they even accuse him of kissing their boots. He's a bootlicker of the West. And by so doing, he is also accepting, he wants to bring the issue of LGBTQ, whatever the homosexuality into Zambia, because it is accepted out there in the Western world. The Western world have accepted it, and this has been there for years. They've also been struggling, but has it come to Africa? Are we African ready to accept this? No. That's why we even have laws that forbids any practices, anybody that will do some unnatural activities. Natural in a sense that we want to see a monogamous, we want to see a heterosexual person who is straight that goes and marries and marry a woman and bear children. It's a normal thing. To us, we call that normal, because that's how God, if we bring religion, that is how God intended things to be. And we have laws that prevents that. And I don't see any reason why today we should see people even protesting or masquerading or even pointing a finger to say these are part of the conditions that were in the IMF agreement before they gave us money. All this is propaganda. All this is just trying to taint the name of the current government in disrepute, or trying to paint a wrong picture, or trying to avoid, to divert the attention of recovering of the stolen properties, the stolen resources. That the Zambian people, they start to look at the current government as an enemy who wants to bring foreign interferences or foreign customs to us, the Zambian people. It's kind of funny though. We claim, of course, we are Christians. Remember, why are we not denying Christianity? Because Christianity, we are in Africa, excuse me, you know the history. Where did we get this Christianity? Because we used to play to our own gods, the gods of the rain, the gods of the sun, the gods of the moon. We inherited this Christianity. Okay? And for now, we just need to hold on to what we inherited and say, according to what we are introduced to or we know, we are not supposed to entertain these barbaric acts. To us, it is a sin in the Bible, and it is also a taboo in our customary laws or our customs. Therefore, anyone that will be seen coming in the podium, in the media, to promote, wanting to point a finger to say this government wants to bring this, woofy. And those people should be condemned with the contempt it deserves. Let them be put aside, because gayism in Africa, we still have a long way to go for us to accept this. So we cannot, for now, it's never going to work. For now, it will never work. Maybe the future generation, when they have met and interacted with the world, then in the future, maybe 50 years from now, that's when maybe they may consider. But for now, our mind is set as Africans, including our leaders.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your reaction.
Let's talk about development.
The point is very clear, and I know you may even go deeper than this, because you are a man vested with full information there. At this point in time, due to time, we have to wrap up the program, and before we do so, let us get to have two stories that are interrelated, and we conclude with those two stories, our reaction right after the stories. Let's proceed to the two stories that we have. One is on land, and one is on politics.
Patriotic Front PF members of Parliament during the party's tenure in office from 2011 to 2021 were accused of selling public infrastructure in communities for personal benefit, matters which community members say should be investigated by the current administration to ensure that those facilities are given back to their respective communities. This is Choncho Grounds in Lusaka's Garden Park compound under Kanyama constituency, which members of the community say was sold to a foreigner during the time Elizabeth Piri served as Member of Parliament, leaving the community with no form of place for youth to conduct recreation activities. United Party for National Development UPND youths who were at the grounds Monday morning say they would take the matter into their own hands and take the ground back from the new owner, as it is a public facility, should the Ministry of Youth and Sports not come in. A check by Camnet News found that part of the wall fence that was built by the new buyer to surround the ground is already being demolished by community members.
Iyi place tipepa kuti ibwerere bana bazipeza kusoberera polonga zavuta kuti bana basapezekepo kusoberera po ispeta inkale chabe clinic bamange clinic holo school bana bapezeke poponzira
anatenga ndrama za grounds azibweze olwasakire ko mupereka uja anagula ni foreigner uja tufuna bativutise mna Mzambia tulipe po manga na schools but malo wana bapasa ma foreigner inali ground tufuna ibwerere so itwatenga kulipe winangu futi ise twatenga malo tambo kwa pa mu ground
yenze school but chapezeka kuti ati bagulisa bayiriza pira batigulisira ground taswana komangira school ya chani ya government so tiangana niko na president please tapapata
si ground si place ya kutanga mangepo warehouse kapena garage iyai e ground tabwera kutenga wana watu wavuti kapeta wapangepo school or clinic because tina maliro kuja ku 55 mwana wawachi baranapungiwa kuchoka ku Karundu kutali kuja so apa so mairo 5 hours tibwera kuyamba kukwapa mu Stifu na mapolisi kutisokoneza please wa president mutianganeko kuno garden house kuno tafutika.
Community members expressed that the lack of a recreation center in the area has led to an increase in drug and alcohol abuse among youths.
Abana balamba okuba bakabolala bakala n'otukiikiri batupase ground yatu umuntu sanga agule ground palina mapo ya bola agula ground manje nishi batuganizira cyane bana bazamba parache bachakorwa bapema vyanga. This is not good.
Meanwhile, Minister of Youth and Sports Elvis Nkandu has assured that the ministry will move in on Tuesday, 14th March 2023, to engage community members and appreciate the situation on the ground to determine the way forward. Zipporah Mshala, Calmnet News.
From today, henceforth, no PF will be allowed to participate in national event. That's what we are saying as Copper Belt. They can participate somewhere else, but as Copper Belt, we are saying PF will never participate. We'll beat them hands down. There's nothing like peace for PF. That peace we gave them, they've made them grow big-headed. They feel they can retain power in 2026 because we gave them amnesty. That amnesty has come to an end. Anywhere where we meet someone with PF Regalia, we shall beat. And we shall beat, and we shall beat. Yes.
There we have it, Mr. Mukeleba. I can see, in the last clip, there's, threatening violence and also inciting violence. Your reaction to that, not forgetting, the previous one that we looked at. I love the whole thing, apart from the last part where the citizens, clad in UPND attire and purporting to be UPND, saying that they would, take the law in their hands, and they have even started breaking or raising down that offense. That part is something that I'm against of. Your reaction, Mr. Mukeleba?
Yes, thank you so much, Chaza. Most of these people that are busy coming masquerading as UPND cadres and saying those things when the government or the UPND does not or says or speaks otherwise, it's sad to see how the social media or the so-called reporters would rush and start interviewing people that do not even hold any position under the political party, the purported political party. It's a little bit sad because when you look at both the two videos, you can tell that this is the propaganda that we've been talking about. What will stop? Who are those guys in the first place? Who are them? And where did they get the blessings to even come on the media and say those things that they've said, that they've talked about? And what is stopping the opposition to actually acquire a UPND regalia and dress it on those chaps and say, and nurture them to say, can you speak or say this? In both videos, you can tell that those people are not, they did not get the blessings from the real party itself, the UPND. And the stand of the UPND, the position of the party, that do not condone violence. They do not condone people taking the law into their own hands. We have procedures, we have laws. This government is able to actually recognize the rule of law. There's nothing like taking the law into their own. This is the work of propagandists. Propagandists, they are busy trying to bring down the name of the party in this repute. And so Zambians should just be careful and be observant and question some of these things. Say, but imweba UPND, mwemulelanda kutata mwakwata violent. No mbaba balumendo aba balefuma kuisa. Wena nani? Who are these people? Namashina, when you are interviewing someone, you have put my name here. Why are those chaps not given names by the interviewer? Who is supposed to even nurture these people? Who is supposed to nurture, or rather, because they know the law, who is supposed to put the name and the position of the people they are interviewing? Come on, Zambians. It does not mean that umuntu nga afuara regalia. and then he comes and starts speaking without any entitlement, without any title. If it was Liswaniso or Mwaliteta saying those things, then I would simply say, I think we are in trouble. Or anyone that has a portfolio, Ruthie Dante from the UPND, or the Hamasakers of this world in the State House, then I'll say we are in trouble. But those chaps, what portfolio do they hold in the United Independent, whatever the UPND? There's nothing. Who has even had the audacity to even air those views on the Imwemwebantunse, please, na papa? Let's be careful. I am audios. You can tell the audios that we hear from the other opposition party. We know the voices. We know the capacity. We know the position that they hold when they speak, and then it's authenticated on social media. But when you look at the opposition or the ruling party, tapalina portfolio ya muntu ulelanda. So to me, I even laugh sometimes. I said, yeah, our guys it's true, they are amateurs. When you go to the government, talk to them and ask, or the people, or the party, Benemwene, the Honorable Mwene, ask them. You will hear their response. Negative, all these things they are busy talking about, these guys claiming it's just negative. Our propagandists, they are busy targeting not the party officials, but they are going to the cadres, who we even don't know whether those are even affiliated to the party or not. Those are the chaps they are busy targeting.
Mr. Mukelewa, I'll cut you short. The point is clear. The point is very clear.
Vufi mwivomfuira bachaza. Vufi, balia bavufi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelewa. We greatly appreciate that. And if truly that is not true, they are not UPND, or whether they are UPND or not, those people must be brought to book, because an illegality by the UPND is an illegality, just like an illegality by PF or any other, person. So threatening violence, inciting violence, those people must be brought to book. Taking the law in their own hands, they must be brought to book. CJ, your reaction?
Thank you, Chaza. For me, I would say, let's not normalize or legitimize criminality, okay? The Kadaism that we used to experience, okay, we shouldn't allow that. Okay, this thing where we have these people saying, no, if we see anyone wearing green or whatever, we beat and whatever, that is criminal, okay? Like you said, that is threatening violence, and let the police sort out such people, okay? Criminality is still vifuna vija vimenetenze kuona. Let us, maintain the peace and enjoy. The top people, they never fight, okay? They never fight. But more grassroots, that's where we have all this confusion and whatever. And the thing is that wakawala wangenelamo into all this activity. They start doing their criminal activities using the name of any political party, whether it's opposition or ruling, okay? They engage in criminal activities and they put on regalia, and people take it. No, niwa PF, no, niwa UPND, niwa MMD, niwa ndani. Let police deal with these criminal activities just the way that any other criminal will be dealt with, whether sanavale jezi ali mujezi, ngati ni ukawalala ni ukawalala, ngati ni umambala ni umambala. The concern that from the first clip where there is that team that is talking about what is supposed to be communal property, okay, the concern is well placed, okay. communities need to have such recreation facilities and whatever, but let them do things in the right way, in the proper way. Okay, let them handle matters the way they are supposed to be, carry things in their, carry the law in their own hands. They'll find themselves now doing an illegality. Okay, so Vaucadarism, because in a video it's showing me that is a start of Kadarism. Okay, and if such things are entertained, they will grow into something that will not be able to handle. People will get in and start getting places that are not supposed to be grabbed in the name of whether it's the ruling party or any other. Such things, let them be quenched and let the correct procedures be followed. Thank you.
See, those chaps did not get the blessing from the political for the political party. They did not. They did it in their own capacities, and therefore, the news, the source of information, is questionable. And I don't even see why we should even start spreading that those chaps, they represent the UPND just because they were clad in the UPND regalia. Come on, guys. Those chaps, if they are criminals, they will be arrested.
Yeah,
and
that's why I said. Yeah, that's why I said whether a person is in any regalia, when a criminal activity is done, let the law come in, because to a common person they'll easily assume and say, since they're in a UPND regalia, they are UPND. Meanwhile, they are just criminal chaps wanting to take advantage of a situation. So let police quench, such kind of things. Despite whatever affiliation or it's a criminal activity, let them come in and ensure that the correct thing is done. Otherwise, if we start handling such issues with kid gloves, they will span into something that will be uncontrollable, and we'll find ourselves in the situations that we used to see where people had the authority to grab any piece of land.
Question also the people who are spreading the news, the source, the news coverage people. Those are the people that the Zambian people should even ask. Don't just listen to anything that is posted on the internet. Follow the source and find out, is this a tabloid? Is this a legit source of information? Even when you're in school, you know what we do. You don't just go and quote anything that you go and when you're doing a research. You just quote any book without finding out how authoritative that the research is or you're talking about. Ask Zambia.
Eminent writers. All right.
Partly social media these days, itamangira ma likes and whatever, bascoping, and you find some of those things. Yes, some of those nitty-gritty don't get into them, and that's why we're having a lot of news that, if not handled properly, can even put the nation in a state that is undesirable.
And even making people rich, because I would love to sue such people who are coming up with falsehood. Sue them. And that's why you find lawyers are rich. Have you ever seen a lawyer who is poor? The lawyers are enjoying this.
All right, Kelebai, thank you so much. It's been a great time right here. CJ, it's been a great time right here. Not forgetting Himba in absentia, who has left us, along the way. We greatly appreciate, not forgetting our followers out there, our viewers, we greatly appreciate. And just in case you find, this program, even, after the program, you can actually comment. We'll definitely get to find your comments there. And if you'd like to join us live, do make a date with us. We do, bring this program every Saturday at 8 p.m. right here on Ubuntu channel. My name is Chaza. You've been great, and we're saying God bless you all. Till next time, we are out of here.